And this is one I love so much that I've actually memorized it in Greek, so I can just recite it.
Let's hear
okay?
it.
Oīon to Glukumālon ereuthetai akroep usdoi. Akronep akrotatoe. Lelatonto de malo dropees. Uman ek lelatont al uk edunante pikestai. Oīon, just like.
Yeah.
So that's the entrance into this beautiful picture. Then sweet apple, Glukumālon, or Glukumālon it would be in Athenian dialect. And then ereuthetai is red or reddens. And then on top of a branch, second line, the topmost apple on the topmost branch. And then a kind of statement out of nowhere. It has eluded the notice of the apple pickers. I could have translated it as the apple pickers forgot it, but that's not quite right. It's that they blanked out on it. They just didn't have an imprint in their minds that it was there. And that seems to be what has happened, but then it's wrong. Oh yeah, they did see it. Don't think they didn't see it. They did see it, but they couldn't reach it. And I talked with some experts in botany who could tell me that, oh, this female apple tree is age X. That is when female apple trees can sometimes send up what are called shooters. And shooters are these mutant growths, beautiful mutants, but still abnormal growths. And all of a sudden, this nice round profile of an apple tree has something growing out from the middle and just reaching for the heavens. And on top of that is this apple. And of course, there's so many ways of thinking about this, that this is aberrant behavior. And we all know what cultivators of apple trees will do. They'll cut off the shooter branch eventually so that you get a nice even distribution of apples. But that apple up there was better than the other apples.
So we've talked during other hours about shoots that get cut down or plants that get cut down. Is that what we should be thinking about here?
I think so. I think so, and it's very sad, very tragic.
Right.
And something beautiful, a real loner, is being eliminated soon.
Right. But it's that moment before, which is so interesting.
It's such a glory. It's such a glorious moment where this apple is glorying in its beauty and nobody can reach it. And then we'll see from other bits and pieces of the song culture of Sappho, brides are compared to apples. So that's one thing that everybody notices about the song culture in the ancient world. Another thing that I'm fascinated with is that scholars have found that this kind of apple is still growing on the island of Lesbos, but it's not an EU kind of apple. So it's a stray apple tree here, stray apple tree there, but back then this was the local apple tree. And when you look at pictures of this, and I do have pictures, these apples are really yellow. And even the ripe apple tree is yellow, except there's a slight blush of pink on it. And that's what is being described here, where the apple is blushing like a human cheek.
Can I just ask, so Greg, I mean, one of the things we are talking about in this class is really practicing the art of reading out of the text rather than into it. And I think an apple is an opportunity to perhaps read into it by mistake, right? So we need to think about our own understanding of an apple and leave those aside.
Exactly. So for example, I think our first impression, oh, this must be a red apple and that's why it's blushing. But actually it's a yellow apple that just has a shade of pink on it. When you look at the historical situation, it's a beautiful example of how we can read our thoughts into something. And in my case, since when I was very young, one of my first movie experiences was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. To me, an apple will always be the kind of red apple that is featured in that full-length cartoon. But I love the way the apple pickers, they just couldn't reach it. So it's not that they didn't see it, it's not that they weren't thinking of it, they just couldn't reach it.
I like the turnaround. That's so sharp, right?
It's very sharp. And in the original Greek, the rhythm of these 3 lines corresponds to what we call dactylic hexameter, in other words, the rhythm of the Homeric Iliad and Odyssey. So it's lyric, but it has an epic flavor.